Hey, it's Chantal Girardi here from Online Business Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about elevating your sales game, unveiling the strategies for consistent sales success. So over the last week, I attended the Swish Sales Bootcamp here on the Gold Coast. It was a 3-day bootcamp. It's actually the second time that I've attended it. And this time round, I got completely different epiphanies and amazing insights. So I'm really, really grateful that, I went for a second time. But, I think for me, the second time round, one of the biggest things that stood out for me was circle of influencing, making sure that we decrease the proximity. I keep getting that wrong, but you know what I mean, to the people that we want to be connected with, and really putting ourselves where we need to be and in the positions of where we need to be to connect with the right people to get what we want in our business. And I think that was like my biggest takeaway from this last meeting. And the other part that was really a big thing for me was that we keep wanting more sales, we keep wanting more leads, but so many of us do not have the basic shit together. And if you do not have the basic shit together, you can wish for as many leads and sales as you like. But if you're going to ignore some of these fundamentals, it's going to really separate you from sales and leads that you need. So I am going to share with you today what came from the boot camp, but what I've also put into today's presentation, which is just a reminder of some of the basics that you need to be doing if you want to be successful in sales. There's a couple of times in my life where I've made the most amount of money ever in my week to week. And they're two different types. And I know Angelique will go, one is 3D and one is 5D. I'm sure she's going to say. The 3D one was when I worked with a sales coach, and every Monday you had to say to him how much money you were going to make, how you were going to make that money, and the steps you were going to take to make that money. I'm sure that's 3D. 5D was the mindset stuff. It was about visualizing, dreaming, and putting yourself in a position for that. So, and those two times, completely opposite. They weren't together. They were done on completely different times. They were both times where I successfully made the most amount of money in ongoing weeks by doing those two things. Okay. Now imagine, I don't know, could I put them together? Does a 3D and a 5D make a 4D? I don't know. You'll have to ask Angelique. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that today. So in pursuit of personal and professional success, the journey towards achieving your goals requires well-structured and disciplined approach. So just out of 10, how structured are you right now towards making sales? You answer this for yourself. A disciplined approach. Truly, how disciplined are you when it comes to making sales? Rate yourself. The key to making more sales, whether in business or in life, is a systematic combination of clear goal setting, managing your daily tasks because time is money, expanding your circle of influence, because if you sit in your same circle, in your same social media, in your same email list, in your same, selling to your next door neighbor, you sit in your same little circle of influence. If you don't expand it, you're not going to grow. So rate yourself out of 10. How much do you expand your circle every week? And then it comes down to being able to handle objections with finesse, because at the end of the day, people are going to have objections. And objections is an ugly word. I kind of like the word questions. Who likes the words questions over objections? I prefer it, right? They're going to have some questions. They're not really objections. They're just questions, right? So let's make it a nice, fluffy word. Makes us feel better. So today we're going to talk about comprehensive strategies that encompasses all these aspects. And at the end of the day, I want you to put these principles into your routine, because I've taken what I've learned over the 3 days, put it into kind of like a what to do every single day. Okay? How to handle your sales every single day so that you set yourself up for success. Consistent sales success. It's only going to be consistent sales success if you do it consistently. Say that fast, multiple times. Consistent sales success. So it's only going to be consistent if you're consistent. So every day, this is what I want you to do, right? So number 1, write this down. What have I achieved? So like yesterday, what did you achieve? Just write down 3 to 5 things. If you can write down 10, go for it. What did I achieve yesterday? Because some of us are sitting in such a dark tunnel, hole, toilet, that all you're seeing is poop because you cannot see the light because you're not focusing on what you actually did achieve the day before. And if you can't name more than, 3 to 5 things, then shame on you. Maybe you need to broaden your awareness. I mean, unless you're sitting watching Netflix every day, but then you can still say, I achieved mental well-being yesterday. Okay, so number 2 is, what will I achieve today? Like, what are you committed to achieving? I'm going to try to do this. Well, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. So trying means you're not going to do it. Doing it means I'm going to do it. So I will achieve, not I will try to achieve. I will or I won't achieve. What will you achieve? Because some of us are just fluffing around. I'll try to make like 1 online sale this month, maybe. And energetically, you're not going to have the energy to want to do that. Energetically, you're not going to be attracting that either for yourself. So what will you achieve? I will achieve. What are you committing to? Number 3, monthly goals. So every month, you should set a monthly goal for these 5 areas. So write them down. Personally, what do you want to achieve? Financially, what do you want to achieve? In your business, what do you want to achieve? In your relationships or your family, what do you want to achieve? And in your health, what do you want to achieve? Because all successful people are health orientated. Think about all the influencers that you follow and go and stalk them. Guaranteed all of them are into health and wellness and fitness. All successful people are. So every month you need to have these goals in all those areas. And you need to say them every day, and you need to reward yourself when you achieve it. So write this down, and I did this yesterday. When I make a sale, I will go for a massage. So give yourself something to look forward to. Stop rewarding yourself when you're not achieving things. We've become a nation of where we just reward ourselves every single day. It's kind of like those kids, everybody who runs the race, they all get a first place, even if they come last. And poor little Johnny, the only thing he can do is run. He can't do maths, but now he's just lost his first place because everyone's getting a first place. Don't get me started on that because I'll be here all day. It drives me nuts. But stop rewarding yourself for stuff that you haven't achieved. Reward yourself for stuff you have achieved. Set yourself up for success, not failure. All right, so number 4 is called daily goals, and this is the Ivy Lee method. The Ivy Lee method is a renowned productivity technique. It emphasizes structured planning and prioritization for optimal daily performance. It's named after its creator, Ivy Lee, who was a productivity consultant in the early 20th century. And this method encourages writing down 6 major tasks the night before, ensuring that you have a clear roadmap for the following day. So apparently they've done tests that if you write your 6 things, your 6 major tasks the night before, you're more likely to achieve them the following day. The success rate, I think, was around 80%. You'll have to Google it, but I think it was around 80%. More effective if you do it the night before. So write your 6 major tasks the night before. Each task is then evaluated. So you write the 6 down. You then evaluate it on its importance and urgency. Importance and urgency. Categorizing it into A, B, C. So your A's are absolutely essential. So out of your 6, which are the ones that are absolutely essential? B's Which are the ones where, they need to get done. Like I'm thinking about an online program and I'm thinking about something else down the line. And I need to kind of get to that, but it's not you don't have to do it. It's not important or urgent. It's just got to be done at some other time. B. And number C, what can you delegate to others? Or what I like to say for C is sometimes they're actually not that important. You can actually take them off your list. So by tackling the A's first, you get rid of the critical, responsible things. This method also allows you to prepare for unexpected challenges, which is called, hold on a sec, where is it? Including time in your diary for when shit hits the fan. So do you have when shit hits the fan time in your diary every day? And are you eating the frog, meaning that you're doing those A items first thing in the morning? So that is the success formula for running your day every day. And I'm going to share with you then how we've then got to break that up even further into moments within the day. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. So if we talk about that daily structure then, if you're talking about a 40-hour work week, 10 hours in your week should be spent doing your job. So that's delivering the service of what you do, 10 hours a week. 10 hours a week should be in business development, developing your business. So marketing, podcasting, blogs, research, setting up sales pages, all that type of stuff. And the last 10 hours, and I'm going to change, I'm going to tell you what they had, and I'm going to tell you what I've changed it to suit my tribe. But they had team leadership, because they all are massive companies that have got teams. For you, I'm going to say growth, sales, and opportunities. I'm thinking collaborations. Putting on a nice outfit and going to events where your ideal clients are, putting yourself in front of them, like growth, opportunities. Even on social media, going and connecting with them. And I'm going to give you some strategies today as well. So that then is how you break up your week. 10, 10, 10. And the last one is 5. And 5 is for when shit hits the fan. So for me, how I've done it is 10 hours doing my job. I'm doing it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I've got the hour for the shit hits the fan. And I've got business development on Monday and Friday. And sales and opportunities should be every day for me for 2 hours, because I've got to be following up on leads and inquiries and networking. And so work it out. But color coordinated. I would color coordinate it. 10, 10, 10, 5. Okay, circle of influence. As I said, this to me, I was kind of doing it in my head before I even went to this event. I was planning so that I would be in front of the key players at this event, because I wanted photos with everyone. I wanted to be tagged. I wanted opportunities on stage. I wanted all those opportunities when I was at this event. And I was ready for planning all of that for this event, my circle of influence. But it's about decreasing or increasing your proximity to the people that you want to be like. So you write this down. I need to increase my exposure to. I need to increase my exposure to. And I need to decrease my exposure to. Oh, sorry. I don't have my water yet. This is important. I've been thinking about Leah all night. You have got to increase your exposure to people who in that holistic, that chakra, because of the essence. So people that are into chakras, people that are into, you have to increase your exposure to them. You have to go to their events. You've got to like their socials. You've got to send them emails. You've got to say, hi, I'm Leah. Can you test this out? Like, you have got to be bolder, much bolder. and go, I want to get into bed with you. How am I going to make that happen? Metaphorically speaking, unless it's not metaphorically speaking. So how do we introduce ourselves? This is a cheats way to do it. I have shared with you multiple pitch ways before, but this is a really simple, easy one to do that I'm going to share with you today. Write this down. You know how people sometimes struggle with. You know how people sometimes struggle with ... You insert. You know how people sometimes struggle with, and put the 3 pain points in there. And then you say, I help people with that. And the second part of it is, you know how people get frustrated with this, and that. You know how people get frustrated with this, and that. And can find this challenging, this, and that. I help those people with that. So whether or not you're standing in front of that person or not, they might know someone who does struggle with that. Because Leah might go, you know how people sometimes struggle with, sensitivities to smell. The person standing there going, no, I don't know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. But you go, you know how sometimes people sometimes struggle with sensitivity with smell? Well, I help people with that by providing them with low allergen candles. You know how people and you would insert there the type of person. So you know how people with sensitivity to smell would get frustrated with highly sensitive candles that would give them a rash, a scratch, make them nauseous, give them a migraine. And they can find that challenging to go into somebody's house to have to smell that. Well, I help people with that. And therefore, even if it's not that person you're talking to, they might be able to introduce you to that person. So that's a really, really good, really simple little one to do it. I'll read it out again to make sure you have it right. You know how people sometimes struggle with this, and that? I can help you with that. You know how people get frustrated with this, and that? And they can find it challenging. And they can find this, and that challenging. We help you with that. Cool. Everyone get that down? All right. So then we go into the sales process. And this is really just 5 things that you can write down that is really, really, really going to basically structure your entire thing. They've actually got like a 9-step process. It's insane. And I can actually send you the example of that. My VIPs who are live, I can send that to you. But for everyone else that's listening, really, if you just sum it up to these 5 things, this really helps. So in the discovery, when talking to somebody, it would be 1, use reflective questions. So take them back. So how did you get into your business? When did you first notice that you had sensitivity to smell? When did you first learn about chakras? So take them back. Reflective questions. Number 2 is reality check. Bring them to the present. What are you struggling with right now? What is the problem right now? What are you struggling with right now? Tell me what your biggest problems are. Number 3 would be opportunity questions. So if we could fix that for you, how would that look in the future? How would that change your life? What would it mean to you? How would your life change if we fix that? So future pace them. Opportunity questions. Number 4 is cost of inaction. So what would happen, like, if that wasn't fixed? Like, what would that mean for you if, we didn't fix your pool lights and you owned a 5-star resort pool and we didn't fix your pool lights? Like, If we didn't fix them, what would that mean for your pool company? So cost of inaction questions. And the last one is partnership questions. So would it be okay if I could discuss how I could possibly help you? So how could we partner? So getting permission or consent to be able to have the conversation on how you can work together. So that's a 5-step process of the discovery process. And I thought that's a really easy one. Okay, so number 9 then, we're talking about objection handling. And as I said, I'm not a big fan of the word of objection handling. It's really, they're just asking you questions, and they have every right to. If you're buying something, don't you have questions? If you're investing a lot of money, of course you've got questions. So why do we all get like, when there's objections? They're not objections, they're just questions. Of course they're going to have questions. It's completely logical for them to have questions. You have questions too. So the first one is an acronym called ARIO, A-R-I-O. The A is for appreciate. I appreciate what you're saying, okay? I appreciate you want to talk to your partner first. The R is for relate. I can relate to that. It's not the first or last time that I've heard that. Isolated. Isolated mean apart from that question, is there anything else that you would like more information on? So isolated, just to see if there's anything else they'd like to discuss. And the O then is overcome. And to overcome the objection handling the question, we then go into another acronym, which is MCP. And this is the M stands for myself, company, and product. And really what it is just credibility in those 3 areas. So I would say, personally, having been in business over the last 20 years, so I'm talking about myself, then I go to the company. My company has won international and national awards and has over 300 reviews online. So you can certainly see that the product or service that I'm offering you today has got results with other people. So you just look for the MCP credibility to help overcome those questions. All right, follow-up inspiration. This is huge. I'm going to go through them really quickly, but what I'm going to do is for the VIPs, I'll actually send you, I'll take a screenshot of the image that I've got. I'll put it in the VIP group for us, for the VIP members. So you guys will get this. You'll also get the actual script, the actual whole entire script that I created myself based on that, as well as the follow-up checklist as well. So if you want to be a live member, then you just got to become a VIP. Really that simple. So follow-up inspiration. So number 1, phone call. Good old phone call. Pick up the phone call. And based on what John Blake said from a previous conference, he was saying if people don't pick up the phone, you call them, then 1 minute later you call them, then 1 minute later you call them. I know some people are like, what? But that is not if you're cold calling, but if that is that they've actually asked you to call to show an interest, and they're just not picking up their phone because people don't pick up their phones anymore. Number 2 is emailing people, but we never truly know if they're going to open or not open it. And I honestly believe the subject line is responsible for open rates. So be mindful of that. Number 3 is text. Then we've got voicemail. You should never leave a voicemail for a cold person. Only ever leave a voicemail if the person knows you. And the way to answer a voicemail, I add this in, is your name, your company, your mobile number, a little background insight, and then your name, your company, and your phone number, again, slower. Leaving an audio message. They're always saying cut through the cloth, whatever that saying is. But they said, yeah, leaving an audio message. So audio messages and messages, hey, this is me, and actually leaving an audio message. You could LinkedIn Connect. You could Facebook Messenger, or even send a video. You could follow them on Instagram, tag them in an Instagram story, You could send them a personalized letter. You could send them a line in the sand, text or email, and I will share that one with you as well. You could send them a gift. You could simply walk in and say hi. You could connect with their influencers. And actually, when I went to the Forbes Summit last year in Sydney, one of the, I can't remember what her name is. All of you would know her because she's an Australian billionaire swimwear person. But all she did was she connected with all the famous people, influencers, their best friends, and got them to wear her products. And that's literally how she grew her business. That was her strategy. And it was a swimwear thing. Sharing contents of value. So this is something I definitely was not the number one thing that I did was contact my VA and say to, hey, listen, we need to be asking them what they're struggling with and sending them a resource on what they're struggling with, and then following up and asking if they read the resource. Sharing testimonials. So saying, well, look, you're a real estate agent. Here's another real estate agent's testimonial to help you. Tagging people on social media, obviously, respectfully. Inviting people to events, doing customer service calls. So calling people who previously bought your products or service and saying hi. And it's not a sales call. It's a customer call. How are you? How did you enjoy our product? And literally all you're doing is asking them about how they enjoyed the service or product, showing genuine interest. There's no selling in that call at all. However, chances are they'll probably say, can I buy another one? Asking for help, that's a big one. Ask is one of my my things. Just going, hey, I'm asking to be connected to. Offering some people trials as well. Please trial my products. Sending them referrals. That's a great follow-up strategy as well. And I often connect people for referrals because I'll always stay forefront of mine. Running a competition. Emailing people, asking for feedback. Attending the same events. And I often forget some of the bold things that I did, but one of the first things that I did when I moved to the Gold Coast was I would attend events. In Facebook, I would go in and where it says going, I used to click on going and see who is going. And then I used to get there and make sure that I sat next to the important people. That is how I ended up on the GC Bulletin newspaper about 8 times, because they were getting photographed and I was sitting next to them. And I did that because I saw who was going to the event and I went and sat next to them. I forget all this stuff. I didn't realize how cheeky I was. This one's for Richard Branson, Daryl. You should be taking notes and sending it to him. You could create an evergreen presentation. So either a catalog, a PowerPoint presentation, a brochure, whatever, and sending it through to them. You could endorse them on LinkedIn, and you can basically subscribe them to something or send them a lead magnet and get them to subscribe for themselves. So incorporating these strategies into your daily routine can pave the way for your enhanced sales performance and overall achievement. At the end of the day, it comes down to your goal setting. If you're not setting a goal on how many sales you want to make, if you're not meticulously planning, if you're not practicing answering the objections or the questions when you get them, and you're not role playing. This was another huge fundamental part of what he said. He said everybody should be role playing sales conversations every day. And I believe the introvert should be doing it 10 minutes a day, not 5 minutes a day. Sorry, Alison. Because if you want to get better at something, you've got to improve your skills. So role play for longer. And basically, this is a really holistic approach to sales success online. But I think the goal setting is really important. I think putting it into your diary every day, having those 6 major tasks and then prioritizing those 6 major tasks, and then making sure that in your diary, you've got the 10 hours, the 10 hours, the 10 hours, and the 5 hours, and being really strict on that. Because too many people are doing the business development stuff for 20 hours and they're not doing any of the sales or opportunity stuff. So if you get strict and go 10 hours a week is my sales and opportunity stuff, and then go and write down what are my tasks for making that successful, watch how your sales change. You have to have a sales and opportunity in your diary. If it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen. And it shouldn't be 1 hour. How many of us are not prioritizing the selling part? We have to get sales to make money. So how much time are you spending doing it? Like, honestly, like actually going and doing it, not just sitting and marketing. Marketing's not the same. Sales is going and making sales. It's closing the marketing. It's closing the lead. Super, super important. So I'm going to say goodbye now to those that are watching live, that are watching the recording. If you want to be part of the live audience, which includes networking beforehand as well as Q&A afterwards, and I'm also going to go through, I'm actually going to go through the script with everyone. I'm going to answer questions, and I'm also going to share the resources with everyone in our private Facebook group. In order to do that, you do need to become a client or become at least a VIP, of which you'll find all the links in the comments below.